everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be walking you through how I'm using my DIYFish inserts in my personal size Kikki-k. So I'm going to be showing you what version DIYFish inserts I use and how I use them. So to start with, I'll just preface this by saying I'm not going to walk you through the entire planner. I did do a walkthrough a couple of weeks ago and not much has changed. All the back insert sections have stayed the same, so I'm not going to show you those because there's really nothing different. I will link the walkthrough down below, so if you are interested in seeing what those inserts are, you can go watch that previous walkthrough. Alrighty, so when we open up the planner, again, not much has changed. I do have a new color code in the front which directly relates to my DIYFish insert, so I'll put that aside. I've still got the previous color code I was using, and then again I've still just got stickers. Not going to walk you through them, but what I'll do is any sticker shops that you see in the video, I'll link them down below in the description. I'm not going to go through them, but if I do show them, I will link them. Okay, so this section is where I keep my calendar inserts. It's my second section in my planner, and these are my DIYFish inserts. So the version I use is version 2.2, and I will link that down below in the description. So it's version 2.2 day on a page. So she does have day on 2 pages and a few other versions, but that's the one I use. So like I said, I'll link it down below. So the first thing that we see here is DIYFish's monthly printout. So her monthly does fold out, and on the front we get a monthly chart which allows you to track things, and on the back we get the calendar insert. Okay, then what you do get is you do get your weeks. So I'll go to this week. So you get a weekly spread. The weekly spread folds out as well. It has a back, and then you get your day on a page. Okay, so nice and easy there. So now I'll walk you through a little bit more about this one. So with the months, okay, let me just try and flip it around for you. They do go down with like this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. So it runs vertical. What that means though is when you do fold out your week, it lines up. So all your Mondays line up, all your Tuesdays line up, all your Wednesdays line up. So I really like that. It did take me a little bit to get used to, but I do like it now, and I will show you why. So let's dive into how I use these inserts. So on the tracking page, I like to use the monthly tracker to do a few different things. To start with, I'm tracking my emotions and my feelings, and I'm doing that in a pixel format. So that's where this color code comes in. So each color is a different emotion. So ecstatic, happy, etc. And depending on how I'm feeling, I color in my morning, midday, and evening to match up with the corresponding emotion. Some days it's like a half box because I'm feeling multiple emotions, because you know, you do tend to feel more than one emotion at a time. So I color that in just to kind of recognize how I'm feeling. I also track different categories. So I've got health, which has a few different categories. I've got soul, chores, and other. So these are the ones I started with this month, just to see how I went with them. They're not all working for me. As you can see, I haven't really ticked off any of some of them. So next month I'm going to be switching the categories around, and I will post a picture on Instagram with my September setup when I do set it up and what categories I decide to go with. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can follow me on Instagram down below, and you'll be able to see that when I do post it. Okay, so then with my monthly spread, I just track an overview of what's going on. So these are just my assignments that I've got going on, birthdays, just general events. So just a real overview of things that are going on. And the really good thing about DIYFish is because they do all line up here. So on my Saturdays, I can put down that I had a planner day, but then over in this little section here, I can actually put down some further details. So even though these boxes are kind of small, I don't have to put everything over here. I do have this section as well. Same with my uni. I have classes on Wednesdays, and instead of having to write it down for every Wednesday, I can just put a line through the entire Wednesday and put the details here for what classes I have. So this section here I just use for a monthly to-do list. It's just things that need to be done this month but don't necessarily have to be done on a particular week. So I just write them down so I don't forget them. So moving on to my weeks. For my weeks, I'll just do the first week of this month. For the weeks, I tend to just put down my appointments. So while I do general upcoming things here, the appointments I do tend to put down here. So medical appointments, anything like that that comes up, I'll put them straight onto my week as opposed to putting them on the monthly spread. And that's just because I tend to already have the weeks in here by the time medical stuff comes up. But if I don't have these in here, I always have the next 3 or 4 months of the months in here. So I can put it on the monthly insert if I need to, but I prefer not to. So again, it's really easy because it all lines up. So if I do have any assignments due, so here, for example, it all lines up and I can see, oh, I do have an assignment due, and I can copy it over. So I can make sure I don't miss anything. I can make sure it's all covered. Also, similar with the months, there's not a great amount of space, so I do tend to put my details of my appointments over in this section, and that just frees this up for the most important information. So exactly what the appointment is as opposed to where it is. Okay, so I'm going to just move on because this is the first week of the month. I'm just going to move on to the current week. Yeah, so I'm just going to move on to the current week. So this, because how I'm actually using the inserts has changed a little bit. So while that's how the inserts work and that part hasn't changed, the next lot of stuff has actually changed. So what I'm doing now is these do fold out. So what I'm doing is for the week after, I'm putting down anything that's coming up. So I don't have any assignments due this week, but I do have an assignment due next Friday. So when I flip out next week, I can easily see that. What I'm also doing is I'm having my weekly to-do list here, as well as meal ideas. Now, how the meal ideas work is that I just write down some ideas for dinner based on what we actually have in the cupboard. And then when we do eat them, say if we have rissoles tonight, I put an M for Monday. Or if we have apricot chicken on Wednesday, I'd put a W for Wednesday. So this gives me a little bit of flexibility with our meal plan, but at the same time gives me a little bit of structure that I know what we have in the cupboard that we're planning on eating. So with the weekly to-do list, what I tend to do each day is I will copy over some to-dos that I plan to do here, and I use this section for studying. I haven't filled out Monday and Tuesday because I wanted to leave them blank for this video, just to show you what the inserts actually look blank, just because I do tend to fill them out each day. So in the morning, on say this morning, what I normally would have done is I would have sat down and I would have filled this out. And how I would have done that is I would have just looked at my weekly to-dos, I would have looked at what I've got on next week, and then I would have chosen what I'm going to do today. So I'll show you what these end up looking like filled out. So last week, for example, here we go. I'll show you that last week. So Monday and Tuesday, I sat down Monday morning, I filled out some things here, I wrote down some to-dos, I wrote down what I'm planning on studying, and that allowed me to kind of have that focus for the day, and then I just did that each day. So just depending on what I had going on, sometimes like here I put a quote because I didn't have a lot of studying to do, or actually I did, but I only had one thing to study. So because I only had the one thing, I just wrote study and then I studied it, as opposed to writing down like a list and breaking it down. So that's kind of how I kind of do that now. These ones just get done every day just to kind of keep me accountable, keep me focused, keep me mindful. If I don't fill them out, it's not the end of the world. I don't really mind too much because it's more of like more just kind of helps keep me focused. It's not really something I have to do. But yeah, that's basically it. So that's last week. Then I'm starting this week nice and fresh. I've got my to-dos, which includes any to-dos from last week I didn't get done. I've got pretty much no appointments this week. I do have to make an appointment, so basically I've got everything focused. So I know what I'm doing. I know what I've got going on. I've got an assignment coming up, and I basically know that I'm not going to forget anything, which is, I guess, the main thing about having a planner. I mean, we basically want to just make sure we're not forgetting anything and we're able to stay organized and focused. And I will just say one other thing is, with DIYFish, for me, it is mostly about being functional. So if I don't get around to planning the decorations, if I don't get around to putting washi tape down, it's not the end of the world. These are particularly to keep my life organized and to keep me focused. And to me, the stickers always come second. As you can see, I haven't put any stickers down yet. I will fill these out with writing first, and then I'll add stickers in if I have space. And that is kind of what I would say with DIYFish, is they're timed and they have that functional ability for you. So if you have any questions about how I'm using these inserts, please feel free to pop them down in the comments below. You can also pop over to my Instagram and you can comment on any of my DIYFish pictures, or send me a DM and ask me any questions about these, and I will answer any questions that you might have, or I'll do another video if I need to, if there's any questions that, you know, I can't explain by writing them. If it's easier to do another video, I will. Also, I will just say that I have just recently reached 500 followers over on Instagram, which is very exciting for me. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm very excited for it. So if you do go over and follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see the giveaway details and you'll be able to participate in that. Okay, well, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope that this answered some of your questions about how I'm using my DIYFish inserts, and I will see you all next time. Okay, happy planning. Bye.